Welcome to the Chrysler Center for the first half of WCBN's Michigan basketball doubleheader. I'm Daniel Thompson, joined alongside Eric Littman, and we've got a great day for basketball here in Ann Arbor. Michigan women's basketball hosts Morgan State at 11 a.m. right now to tip off our doubleheader, and then WCBN will also have the call for men's basketball versus Western Michigan shortly after the conclusion of this one, 2 p.m. So tune in. We've got basically 4 hours of basketball ahead of you from WCBN Sports. It should be a good basketball Saturday. As the semester wraps up here in Ann Arbor, we are about to get underway. And Michigan should be favored in this one, shouldn't they, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been off to a hot start this year. Morgan State is only 1-9 this year, so they're really looking to turn things around this season.
Michigan wins the opening tip-off. Looks like Deja Church recovered it off the tip-off. Michigan brings it down low and turns it over. You can credit Kayla Horn of Morgan State for that one. Unable to finish the layup down beneath the basket. The Wolverines are 7-3. Morgan State's 1-9, conversely. Morgan State taking their time to get the basketball down low. A shot fired from Elizabeth Sherrill. No good. Rebounded by the Wolverines, and as they try to bring the ball up the court, nearly intercepted there. A risky pass ends up being batted out of bounds, and the ball will stay with the Wolverines.
That was a nice job, though, by Munger there, trying to push the pace. That's where Michigan is so effective, getting out in transition. So look to see more of that from the Wolverines.
And in the end, no harm done as Michigan retains possession. Amy Dilk now will lead the offense from the point. Ball given to Deja Church now. Michigan taking their time, being patient, and they turn it over as they try to inbound it down low to Hallie Thorne. Well, actually, it's going to be a foul on the court assessed against Morgan State, so the ball will stay with the Wolverines. Inbound upcoming, and a full new 30 seconds on the shot clock. Ball inbounded to Hallie Thorne, who finds Haley Brown. Unable to convert, though, and the ball will be rebounded by Morgan State. They drive immediately to the rim, cannot finish, though, off the glass, and the ball will go right back to the Wolverines. Quick possession right there from Morgan State, comes up empty. Nicole Munger cannot quite find the net, so that will go back to Morgan State ball. Neither team able to find any success there in the first minute of play.
Oregon State playing good defense right now, denying any entry passes to throw them down low.
Absolutely. That clearly has been Michigan's plan so far on offense today and has been totally unsuccessful so far. Morgan State doing a great job shutting that down. Morgan State's Kayla Horn thinks about firing from three, comes in closer, though, and is able to hit one from the free throw line. 2-0, Morgan State leads. Michigan, though, trying to pick up the pace in response. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Morgan State's Elizabeth Sherrill and will stay with the Wolverines, who inbound it. Amy Dilk now looking to inbound. Ooh. And Hallie Thorne falls, but that doesn't disrupt the Michigan inbound play. Deja Church with the ball and is assessed with an offensive foul. So the Wolverines still 2 minutes into the game now, scoreless, trail Morgan State 2-0.
Yeah, and the offense is looking a little stagnant so far. You're seeing a lot of isolation, not a lot of ball movement, which you'd like to see a change from this Wolverines offense.
It certainly looks like really the only game plan on offense so far has been to get the ball down low to Hallie Thorne, who has been just completely covered so far.
Yeah, for sure.
So Morgan State resumes play. A foul apiece now for either team. 7.5 still to go here in the first quarter. A lot of basketball to be played. Wolverines do trail, though. Nami Bulgashi finds a teammate in the corner, is able to hit the mid-range two and go up 4-0. But Michigan quickly on the other side. They find Nicole Munger, who was not covered by anyone. She quickly puts two in and is able to cut the lead back down to 2.
And now we're already seeing Michigan going to their full court trap on defense. We've seen it work against teams like Detroit Mercy earlier in the year. They forced a lot of turnovers that way.
Unable to go for Morgan State, so that now gives Michigan the ball and a chance to tie things up. Deja Church driving to the basket. Doesn't get the bucket, but does get the foul. This should be a shooting foul and bring up some free throws for the Wolverines. Deja Church now going to the line. So an opportunity for the Wolverines to tie things up. Deja Church misses the front end. Can still cut this deficit down to 1, though, with the free throw here. She sinks the second of the two, so goes 1 for 2 so far to start the day. On the season is shooting .650, so comes up with only 1 there. And now Morgan State brings the ball back up the court. Morgan State looking for anything. Can't find any penetration so far and just have to play the ball around the three-point line. And they turn it over, trying to pass the ball and down low. Deja Church gets the steal and wants to go right to the rim. Shot doesn't go in, but it is rebounded by Naz Hamilton, who is able to knock it in. Hillman now ties the game, or gives Michigan the lead, rather, so 5-4 Wolverines lead.
Yeah, and that's what Hillman does best. You know, Michigan has such a luxury. When Thome goes to the bench, you have another scoring big who can come in and get easy buckets. Hillman doing that right there.
The three-point attempt from Morgan State is no good, recovered by Hillman, and the Wolverines now have possession with the ball for the first time all day with the lead. That ball is quickly, though, turned over, and Morgan State drives to the basket. Fouled on what would have been an easy layup, so maybe a smart foul there from Naz Hillman.
Yeah, and these Morgan State wings are looking very active so far on defense, getting a lot of deflections, not making it easy for these passes for Michigan.
Indeed, they've done a good job picking off Michigan in a couple instances now, as Morgan State sinks to the front end of their 2 free throws. That looks to be Asia McCalla in on the free throws, makes the first one of her 2, 5-5. The difference in this one, early at least, could be free throw shooting. Michigan is 1 for 2 on the day. So far, Morgan State 1 for 1, and call it 1 for 2. That ball rolls around the rim for a second and falls out. Michigan recovers. And we have a first three-point attempt of the day. Looks like that one's no good, but it is rebounded by the Wolverines, who put it back for 2. Haley Brown missed the 3, ends up getting the ball back though, and makes a about 4-footer. So Wolverines take the lead back 7-5. Morgan State going quick here, drive to the basket and put in a contested layup. Haley Brown with good defense, didn't matter though. And now Michigan takes over, loses the ball down low, and a good, smart play there by Morgan State to recover and then quickly pass the ball out before a jump ball could be ruled. Quickly, Morgan State finishes that turnover, though, and gets the fast break. A quick 4-0 run there for Morgan State. They take a 9-7 lead. It's going to be Nicole Munger now attempting from beyond the arc. That one, no good. Recovered, though, by Deja Church. Almost got the putback. And eventually, finally, Naz Hillman is able to get the putback from 1 foot away. Wolverines tied up 9-9.
That's 3 straight possessions now for the Wolverines where they're getting offensive boards. And those second chance opportunities could be a difference in this game.
And this game is really sped up. 4 consecutive possessions across both teams going right to the rim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see that as soon as a team gets a defensive rebound, they're sprinting to get the defense sleeping.
Both defenses have been solid so far, so those fast breaks are reasonable. Hamilton fires from 3. That one goes off the backboard and nearly falls in. Would not go, though, so now Michigan rebounds, and Naz Hillman has been left wide open. No one on her, puts away the easy layup, and Michigan takes the lead again, 11-9. Michigan going with a full court press here. Does give Morgan State a quick break, though, as they are able to pass beyond the first ranks of the Michigan defense. Looks like Morgan State, though, is going to slow things down here and rerun things through the typical offense. Asia McCalla with the ball. Mid-range 2 attempted by Morgan State. That one is rebounded by Deja Church, who goes right to the rim. That one wasn't close to going in, but she was fouled, so that will be 2 more free throws here for Deja Church. A .650 shooter, 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, and you love that aggressiveness by Church. She recognizes the open floor as soon as she gets that rebound. And although she wasn't able to finish, she drew the contact, tried to get some easy ones from the line.
Indeed, so she gives Michigan a chance to get their largest lead of the day. They have led by 2 on multiple occasions now, have not led by 3. Church is a 650 free throw shooter, so she should be able to sink at least one and get Michigan at least 3-point lead. We have our first timeout, so we're going to have a fan event here. She sinks the first shot, now onto the free throw line, looking to move on. So far, can't get any free throws to go. That one hits the front of the rim, almost falls. Still nothing doing yet. Avery, I get is the name now. Not quite able to. The rim has been really unforgiving to her so far.
She's got good follow through though.
Indeed, the rim not giving her anything from the free throw line. 2 seconds to get a shot off, and that's unfortunate. It's only able to make it from the first station. She looked good, though, while shooting.
Yeah, every shot was on line, just a little bit too short.
Indeed. No forgiveness from the rim. So the Wolverines, a tournament team from last year, of course, the year before won the NIT tournament, looking to continue that upward trend. Right now, they're 7-3 in non-con play. They've only lost to ranked teams, so quality losses at the very least.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, at least to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. But, of course, Michigan always looking to get better. They're showing a lot of good signs on both ends of the floor. They're being very aggressive defensively, and I think that's where it all starts for them, establishing that defensive culture and turning good defense into easy offense.
And that's happened a couple of times here. A big reason why the Wolverines lead 11-9 with 3:38 to go in the first quarter.
Well, we'll see how long they go to this full court press, because a lot of times this year they do that until they have a large enough lead where they can kind of let it go easy on defense, kind of sag off a bit. And it must be tiring to keep up that press for a long time, so at least to conserve the energy.
Certainly, and they are in a bit of an easier stretch right now.
Yeah.
Last week they defeated the winless LIU Brooklyn, and now they have a 1-win team coming into Chrysler, so easier stretch of the season, and just don't want to avoid any slip-ups while they're at it. So Deja Church, 1 for 2 on the day, looking to make it 3 for 4. Sinks the front end. That one would look great. Nothing but net. Wolverines now lead 12-9, largest lead of the day. Church lets the second one rattle in, so she is now 3 for 4 on the day, and the Wolverines lead 13-9, their first 2-possession lead. And they continue to stick with that full court press, maybe with some newfound energy coming out of the timeout. That ball was tipped by Kayla Robbins and nearly stolen. A big skirmish for the ball, multiple bodies hitting the floor. And eventually Michigan does come up with a Deja Church with the steal and is able to get the ball to Naz Hamilton, who is standing up and not on the floor. So Michigan gets the ball now, looking to build on their lead. Oh. And they find Naz Hamilton down below. She gets more points, 15-9.
Yeah, they double-teamed Kayla Robbins down there in the low post, and Hillman just slipped by and wide open in the middle of the lane.
And it looks like we're going to have a traveling violation, I believe, against... No, a timeout was called, my bad. So, 15-9. Morgan State trails by 6, 2:48 to go here in the first quarter. They called their first timeout, looking to figure out their plan here. This game is starting to get away from them.
Yeah. I am surprised, though. It seems like they are, considering the record and their turnover problems this year, they have looked a little more disciplined than we would have expected. But, yeah, it seems like Michigan is starting to pull away.
Indeed, this is going to be important for Morgan State to keep this game close. They've won 6 less games than the Wolverines already.
Yeah.
They really don't want to be playing from behind, and right now they're down 2 3-pointers, 6 points as a whole. It's going to probably be... They're going to want to make it closer by the time the quarter ends. Probably can't tie it up by then. The inbound is underway, It's going to be Kayla Horn with the ball, trying to lead the offense from the point. An errant pass, but it is recovered by Morgan State shortly before rolling out of bounds. So they retain the ball. 5 on the shot clock, though. They have to hurry. Kayla Horn with the ball, drives to the rim, and that was a great play, but could not quite catch any rim there. So the shot clock expires before the ball hits the ground, and Michigan takes over. That was a really good play, though, to even get to the rim and get a decent-looking shot off.
Good aggressive take there by Horn, who is a Romulus native, so a bit of a homecoming for her.
Interesting. Quickly a Morgan State turnover, and that's going to be an easy finish there for Morgan State. They don't get it, though. A little bit too strong off the glass, and Michigan is going to take possession. Offensive foul, though, assessed against Deja Church. But as you mentioned, Horn, a Romulus native. Morgan State is in Baltimore, so she went quite a ways away for college, coming back to Michigan. Romulus, of course, is the location of the Detroit airport. Eric, as a fellow out-of-state student, I think you are familiar with Romulus.
Very familiar.
Like I am, looking to head back there in a couple days once finals conclude. And not a short drive from Ann Arbor, about 35 minutes. Morgan State now attempts another three-pointer, and that one is way long, and Michigan takes over. And it's going to be Johnson Akariena, who flies to the glass, is able to put that through and expands Michigan's lead to 8, 17-9, Wolverines lead. A minute 41 to go in this one. Looks like Jahia Chavis now with the ball. Finds Kayla Horn out on the wing. Good ball movement from the Bears here on this possession. Kayla Horn fires from way downtown. That hits the inside of the rim. Ricochets out, though, and ends up in Naz Hillman's hands. So Wolverines up 8 with the ball. Can expand the lead, maybe. And wide open. Kayla Robbins left way open. Sinks the easy layup. And Michigan now leads 19-9. It's been a fantastic few minutes here for the Wolverines. Defensive lapse there, but they get lucky as Morgan State cannot complete the layup.
And Morgan State's been able to get a lot of easy looks here, unable to convert on any of them, though.
A big reason why Michigan is pulled away here late in the first quarter. Johnson Akienra drove to the basket, was fouled on the layup, could not finish, though, but she can now make this a 12-point lead for the Wolverines, and this one is really getting out of hand. A really big scoring run here for the Wolverines in the past couple minutes.
Yeah. And you see Michigan's going to, they're starting to rely a lot more on these backdoor cuts. You saw Naz Hillman work from the post, get a backdoor cut score there. So it's working so far for Michigan, sneaking by those Morgan State defenders.
Akienra is unable to hit the first of her 2 free throws. Michigan now sinks to 3 for 5 on the day. Second one is good. Doesn't even touch the rim. Wolverines lead 20-9 here in the first quarter. Wolverines on pace for 80 right now. Still looking at about a half-court press right now. Morgan State unable to get their inbound. And that aggressive Michigan defense has really gotten into Morgan State's head, maybe playing a bit more quicker than they're comfortable with, and that has cost them dearly.
Yeah, and it seems like Morgan State against that half-court or full-court press, they've had a wing player wide open in the corner, but never looked there. They finally looked there, but it was a sloppy pass, and the ball was turned over.
So Michigan now with possession, slowing things down here. 22 to go in the quarter and 8 on the shot clock. So they will have to get a shot off. Looks like another foul assessed against Kayla Robbins. I think that was on the court, though. But Michigan is in the bonus. Morgan State having committed their 5th foul now, so Michigan will go to the line. Kayla Robbins, to be exact. She averages 17.1 off the bench, doesn't hit the first end of the free throw. So not off to a great start to getting that 17.1, which is just fantastic coming off the bench.
Yeah, Michigan really excels, though, from their depth. I mean, we already see it with Hillman, too.
I think we've seen 10 different Michigan Wolverines already on the court here in the first quarter.
Morgan State only has about 9 players on the whole roster.
Indeed. So Kayla Robbins goes 0 for 2 on those free throws. Doesn't expand the lead, 20-9. No shot clock is turned off. Layup is no good, so Michigan now has 9 seconds to try to score here, maybe get a couple more points before the quarter ends. 3 to go. 2. From way downtown, Kayla Robbins fires no good. So Michigan will go into the quarter leading 20-9. Great start here from Kim Barnes-Arico and her team. Lead by 11, on pace right now for an 80-36 rout. Looking good here from the Chrysler Center for the first half of the Michigan basketball doubleheader. Men's will host a much closer opponent in Western Michigan, staying in-state rather than hosting a team all the way from Baltimore. So right now, 20-9 lead. Good start. This is what was expected from the Wolverines.
Yeah, and it seems like Michigan came out kind of sluggish in the beginning. Defense was falling asleep in transition, not really moving the ball too well. But once they started to fix those things, they started forcing turnovers with that full court press. You had people cutting off the ball, setting screens for each other off the ball. You see a big difference when that happens.
It has been Michigan has done what they needed to do. It was a bit of a slow start, but they started playing faster. They would catch Morgan State out of position in the transition, and that's when they really were able to get what they wanted down low. And with that quicker tempo, they gave Morgan State some opportunities, but Morgan State just didn't seem quite comfortable with that faster pace, and that resulted in some errors, which have really helped Michigan just blow the lid off this one.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and that really has led Morgan State, a team that is already a big underdog going into this one. They're trailing by 11. They have a lot of work to do, and as the weaker opponent on the road, that is really an uncomfortable situation for them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Morgan State hasn't done too terrible of a job of creating decent looks from the field. The problem is they're just not finishing, especially against a team like Michigan. When you're such a big underdog, you just don't have the margin for error to afford to miss those chances.
They really don't, and so far, in the beginning of the game, they were doing a pretty good job of it. Morgan State led 7-5 at one point.
Yeah.
And then since then, Michigan went on a 15-2 scoring run. And just as a matter of fact, I mean, you're not going to stay in games getting scored on 15-2. That number might be familiar to Michigan fans, as Northwestern nearly closed their game hosting Michigan men's basketball in a 15-2 run. Michigan survived that. Women's team here, they could afford to give up a similar run right now with the way they've been playing. They should be right back in a heartbeat. Ariel Young checks into the game now for the Wolverines on defense. Morgan State moving the ball around the perimeter. They have a good entry pass down low. Jump ball called, though, and the arrow points in Michigan's favor. Right there, it looked like Naomi Bolasingh. She had her opportunity to take the shot, didn't quite take it, and then got the ball tied up. So Morgan State just still not willing or able to play as quickly as they need to right now with the way Michigan's defense has played them.
Yeah, and the common saying in basketball for bigs is catch it high, keep it high. So for Morgan State, they got it down low, but once their center brought the ball down, there was trouble from there. Michigan was able to get a grip on the ball.
Aaron pass from Johnson Akienra, and that ball flies out of bounds, intended for Nicole Munger. So it's going to go back to Morgan State here. Both teams still looking to get it on the scoreboard first here in the second quarter. Morgan State continues to move the ball around the perimeter. They have really struggled to have any kind of possession down low. Shooting foul assessed against Michigan's Kayla Robbins, so it looks like it's going to be Asia McCullough going to the line. She's 2 for 2 on the day, looking good from the charity stripe. So maybe she can cut this deficit down to single digits if she stays perfect on the day. First free throw dances around the rim and falls in. So that cuts the deficit to 20-10 right now. Wolverines double Morgan State, 9:04 to go in the second quarter. Asia McCullough, though, can make it a single-digit deficit, and she does. 4 for 4 on the day. 20-11, the Wolverines lead. Nicole Munger's pass is nearly picked off. Asia McCullough trying to single-handedly bring her team back into this. Nearly got both hands on the ball and would have had an easy layup Instead, the ball does go off her hands, out of bounds. Michigan State retains possession. Amy Dilk with the ball finds Nicole Munger on the wing. Kayla Robbins finds Akienra down low. She puts it away. Michigan leads 22-11. Back up 11.
Yeah, and another great backdoor cut for the Wolverines offense. Great cut by Johnson there for the easy deuce.
Morgan State fires from a little bit beyond the free throw line. Can't convert, though. And they find Nicole Munger streaking toward the basket. Can't finish, but does get the foul, so she will go take a trip to the line. And we've still seen 0 close shots from Morgan State. Not a single good look. They had one chance, and as you mentioned, the center failed to keep the ball high.
Yeah.
Ended up resulting in a tie-up and Michigan having the ball for the jump ball. Nicole Munger makes the first of her 2. Leads now 23-11. She is 1 for 1 on the day. And I believe that's her first point as well. She's had 2 20-point games this season. Sinks the second free throw as well, so she's got 2, 18 more to go. And Michigan now has their largest lead of the day. They lead by 13 right now, 24-11. Wolverines on top. Kayla Horn drives to the rim, and she completes the first part of the and one. Going to go to the rim now after being fouled. No, offensive call. Eric, you caught that before I did. And that was probably an easy call, honestly. There were 2 totally set Michigan players. Kayla Horn, though, with a great shot to even get that to go in. Still, no points from the floor right now for Morgan State.
It looks like Morgan State's getting a little more aggressive on the defensive end, though.
Yeah, they are. Michigan having no success driving the ball toward the basket right now. 5 on the shot clock. Amy Dilk has to fire from just beyond the free throw line. That ball does not quite want to fall. So it remains a 13-point Michigan lead. Asia McCullough now with the ball. Passes it to Horn. Those 2 have really had the only impact on offense so far this game for Morgan State. They're going to need more help from their teammates as they can't be given the task of doing it all. An open look now. Unable to fall. We do have a timeout, I believe, called by Kim Barnes-Arico. Still have 3 timeouts to go here in this half. So Wolverines lead 24-11. And really more of the same here in the second quarter.
Yeah. You know, Morgan State, I think their biggest problem right now is just their wing players aren't really moving off the ball all too well. They're kind of just standing in the corner or in their spots. But at least do something, at least to occupy the other Michigan defenders, because right now they're kind of going with the inside-out game, and it's not really doing much for them.
No, and just right there, they had a look from the wing. I couldn't catch the number. She was basically oriented perpendicular to us, but unable to sink the basket. Had an open look. It was from maybe 12 feet away. Not an easy shot, but it was basically the best look they've had this half, or this quarter. They're going to either have to create better looks, or their wings are going to have to do more to spread the court. Because right now, Michigan can just park a couple of defenders by the rim and continue to play good perimeter defense.
Yeah.
And Morgan State's not going to have a single quality look all quarter.
Yeah, it looks like defensively they're also trying to force some turnovers, maybe get out in transition. We see when Michigan brings up the ball, they're almost going to sort of press of their own, and also their post players, they're starting to front the Michigan offensive players in the post in hopes of getting a turnover. Of course, that leads the risk of having a Michigan post player getting behind you and getting an easy layup, but they're hoping that'll turn things around for them.
The alumni band right now serenading us with the final countdown. I wonder if that's related to the fact that it's fine. I don't know if can they get a whole band right now. I feel like a lot of people have left for.
Yeah, it looks like they have less numbers in the band than they usually do.
Yeah, smaller than the Michigan band. I don't know what the policy is for during final. Once class is in, I'm not sure if they can make anyone do a band performance if they're already out of town.
Yeah. Looks like there's less undergrads today.
Definitely does. Alumni band in town. They're about 30 strong, maybe. A quick estimate, maybe 25. Michigan set to get the ball underway. Playing now more of a classic Michigan athletics song. Anyone who's been to a game will recognize that if you can catch that over our Nat mics. Looks like it'll be Kayla Robbins tasked to inbound the ball. Morgan State doesn't show any interest in playing into Michigan's side of the court, so Amy Dilk now is going to run the offense. Good perimeter defense so far from Morgan State. Amy Dilk drives to the rim, can't get it, but gets her own rebound. Unable to convert both times, though, and it looks like Kayla Horn will now lead the ball up the court. They can't get those fast breaks they've been dying for, though, and are going to have to run the offense. An offensive foul, though, assessed against Morgan State. And when you're having such struggles on offense, you really cannot afford an error like that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So Michigan given another chance to build on their 13-point lead. They had a real explosion of points there in the last 4 minutes of the first quarter. Haven't really seen that at all today since. Right now, as Haley Brown is down low, triple team is able, and it unfortunately turns the ball over. So Michigan now playing defense. Morgan State with the ball, taking things slowly here. They're able to find the ball down low. That one skirts off the rim, though. Not going to go down. And still no points from the floor for Morgan State. Amy Dill quickly in transition, takes the ball all the way down the court, fires from about 8 feet away and sinks it. 26-11, Wolverines lead.
Yeah, we'll see if Dill can start to get more involved here. She's so good at controlling the tempo for this Wolverines offense, so good to see a little mid-range jumper from her in transition.
Got the rebound and took the ball all the way down the court. No assists on that one. Kayla Horn with the look from three, considers, doesn't fire though, finds a teammate from the wing, and she's able to hit the first three-pointer of the day. So Morgan State, who struggled so much from on the floor, hits the first three of the day, makes it 26-14. And there, as a bad turnover right there from the Wolverines. Amy Dilk thought she had Nicole Munger down low, picked off though by what looks to be Elizabeth Sherrill, who goes all the way down the court, gets those transition points Morgan State has wanted, makes it 26-16, and KBA calls timeout. And in the blink of an eye right there, Morgan State's on the board, scores 5 in less than a minute. And we've got a game on our hands again.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not like Michigan is constantly scoring in bunches. So if Morgan State can string a couple good possessions together, get a couple scores off transition like they did there, then they'll be right back in it.
That was certainly the fastest 5 points we've seen all day.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Eric, you were exactly right. They needed some help from their wings to get things going. And I think it was Elizabeth Sherrill who hit the three-pointer. That opened things up right there. Michigan just played a bit too quick. Amy Dilk thought she had a pass where she did not. And that results in a quick transition bucket for Morgan State. 5 points in the blink of an eye. We've got a 10-point game on our hands again.
Morgan State only averaging about 3 3-pointers a game, though, so we'll see how many more they can get together.
Michigan gets things underway. Naz Hamilton cannot quite get her hands on the ball down underneath, so it's going to be another turnover. Morgan State with the ball, and they sink another one. Mid-range jumper there from Adriana Coleman. And now it's an 8-point game. Morgan State has played wonderfully so far.
Yeah, and that was Kayla Horn recognizing they had numbers after Hillman fell on the other end, so was able to get a push transition there for them.
And Horn has had some help on offense now these past couple possessions, and that's resulted in just the floodgates opening for Morgan State. Nearly another turnover. I believe that was Jahia Chavez who came flying in there and punches the ball out of bounds. 11 seconds on the shot clock, and Michigan has to regroup and go quickly here.
Now, some new life in this Morgan State bench. Really loud and supporting their teammates right now.
Haley Brown thinks about shooting, finds Nicole Munger on the perimeter. 3 to go. Michigan has to fire. Haley Brown does not get the shot off, decides to pass. I don't think she knew how much time was on the shot clock there.
Yeah, it seemed like she wasn't even looking to shoot.
Was dribbling like she had all day, and
yeah,
most certainly did not. Okay, so Nicole Munger there bailed out of it by a foul. if you're Morgan State, you really don't need to worry. Don't play the ball that closely when Nicole Munger was not looking to shoot with 1 second on the shot clock.
Yeah.
So Michigan catches a lucky break there. 26-18. Deja Church with the ball finds Nicole Munger in the corner. Gives the ball now to Acriera, who is going to drive down low and finishes off the glass. And Johnson finishes. So that brings the lead back up 28-18, and Michigan gets on the board after a 4-minute scoring drought. Kayla Horn, not seeing really any open passes, decides to drive to the rim by herself. Finds a teammate who is rejected by Naz Hamilton with a great block there. Finds Deja Church, who shoots one right from the free throw line, pulls up, and the ball rolls around the rim. And in transition, we have Jihaya Chavez going to the rim. Can't quite convert, though, so Michigan stays up 28-18. The pace has really picked up here in the past few minutes of play. Haley Brown is shocked. That ball just rolls around the inside of the rim, was halfway down before shooting out. So good damage control here from Morgan State. They have stayed within it here over the past 5 minutes of play. Things were getting out of hand, and they pulled right back in it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They've taken it extremely slow here. They fire another three. That one looks great, and that sinks. So Morgan State with the only 2 3-pointers of the day, and that helps them cut it down to a 7-point game. We've got a football score here right now, 28-21. Kick ball assessed against Morgan State. 3 to go here before halftime. And the Wolverines are losing the second quarter right now.
Yeah, they seem a little rattled on offense, too. A lot of their passes seem a little sloppy. They had Naz Hillman earlier matched up against a smaller Kayla Horn. They didn't even find her. So we'll see if they can get back to playing their brand of basketball.
Deja Church sinks the first of 2. She is now 4 for 5 on the day. Michigan now leads 29-21. Deja Church now finishes both free throws. She's now made four straight free throws, so a good start to her day from the charity stripe. 30-21, Wolverines lead. They tie at Morgan State, but a great pass, kind of a blind look after being double-teamed by 2 taller players. Results in an empty possession as Morgan State cannot complete the open look. But right as Ariel Young was dribbling down the court, from behind, Kayla Horn comes in and knocks the ball out. Good steal right there by Morgan State, who trail by 9. With possession, they're just moving the ball around the perimeter right now. Not seeing much of anything down low. Kayla Horn is able to pass out wide. Ooh. Ball is down low, and those are just some great passes right there. And they complete the play quickly. Coleman with the finish for 2 points. They cut the deficit back down to 7. Munger with the ball. The pass is not quite finished by Naz Hillman. And Kayla Young now has the ball, looking to make this game as close as it's been for over 10 minutes to play now.
Yeah, Morgan State, they had that stretch where they got those 5 easy points, but you know what? It seems like they're not even producing many good looks ever since. But Michigan's not really capitalizing either.
No, Morgan State knocked another deep 3 look, and then Michigan just hasn't put up any points in return, allowing Morgan State to get back in this one. Great move right there down low by Morgan State, and they're able to come away with the rebound. New shot clock now. 1:30 to go in this half, and this could very well be a 1-possession game by the end of the half.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly looking that way.
Morgan State taking their time, really playing with no urgency right now. And they've earned the right to. They've made this game a lot closer than it was. Bola Singh gives the ball to Horn. 5 on the shot clock. They have to play with more urgency now. Horn lobs up a desperation 3 as the shot clock was expiring, and that one had no hopes of going in.
Yeah, but if you're Morgan State, you have to recognize that game plan is not what's going to get you back in that game. Just dribbling around at the top of the key, not having anyone move off the ball, and as a result, that was a really tough look by Horn.
Deja Church with some handles right nearly is able to get by Kayla Horn, but good defense. Ends up passing the ball back to Nicole Munger. 10 to go on the shot clock, 36 on the game clock. Deja Church is fouled, and Michigan is in the bonus, so she will go to the line. Currently 5 for 6 on the day.
Yeah, she's doing a nice and a lot. She's been very aggressive consistently throughout the game.
A 650 free throw shooter is having a really strong day from the charity stripe right now. Sinks the front end, so she now is 6 for 7 on the day and expands the lead 31 to 23. Having a great free throw shooting day is Deja Church.
Michigan not yet making a three so far today. It's unlike them.
Deja Church now has made 6 in a row free throws. She's up to 7 for 8. Amy Dilk now enters the game. And that's the big reason why Michigan has yet to pull away in this one.
Yeah.
Not a single three converted. 30 seconds to go. Wolverines lead by 9. The shot clock is on. About a 2-second disparity between the shot clock and the game clock. Morgan State brings it back to the point. They're going to have to play with some urgency here. Really had the same strategy last possession, and that resulted in a desperation three with really no chance of going in. Play the ball down low, and that is stolen by Nicole Munger. 5 on the shot clock, on the game clock. Fires a three. That one goes off the front end. Almost put back by Naz Hillman, but she did not quite get that off in time. If she was a half second quicker, that would have gone. Got the rebound with maybe half a second on the clock. Just no time to put that one back. Almost a dramatic finish to that half. But in that second quarter, Morgan State, they entered the quarter trailing 20-9. They leave it trailing 32-23. Maybe not enough to, if they played at that pace, they still wouldn't come back for the win, but they brought themselves back into that game, and largely through their defense. Their offense came to life in quick stretches, but that was really more of a statement of how they held the Wolverines to 12 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think their offense has looked a little one-dimensional. It seems like they can only get good looks when they force those turnovers on defense. So, yeah, they're definitely going to need that if they want to continue to contend in this game, but they have to start moving off the ball on offense, setting more screens, because they're not even looking to go inside against Hillman. And that's a testament to how good Michigan's bigs are, but at least try to get some action inside, because right now they're just dribbling around on the perimeter and putting up tough shots.
And that's, the fact that Michigan has had just better ball movement on offense really has been the separating key in this one. Outside of that, it's been great defense from both teams. Morgan State has done a great job keeping points off the board, held Michigan to 0 threes, and Michigan has scored a lot of points from the free throw line.
Yeah.
And that really has been the story of the game. Michigan has got to the free throw line. Morgan State has not. So really a good defensive battle so far. Morgan State doing a good job coming all the way to Ann Arbor. And they've done everything they can to stay in this one. A 1-9 team. They've got a shot to upset the Wolverines.
Yeah. I guess that's all you can ask for. If you're a 1-9, you're looking for something to spark your team. And, you saw on the bench when they went on that little 5-0 run, 8-0 run against the Wolverines, the bench they started standing and cheering really loudly for their teammates. So you want something to bring this group together, because so far they haven't had many moments that could spark that energy.
No, there was, that maybe 2-minute stretch there in the second quarter where they were just playing wonderfully and really got back in it. So that should do the first half. That should be it for our first half coverage. We still have 3 more halves of Michigan basketball to bring you here on WCBN Sports here on Saturday, December 15th. It's a great Michigan basketball day in Ann Arbor. We'll be back here for the second half. We wish you a good day to go blue and hope you'll join us here for the second half of our coverage.
Welcome back into the Michigan Wolverines taking on the Morgan State women's basketball team. Welcome back into Chrysler Center. We're just about to tip off the second half. 30 seconds left of halftime. I'm here joined with Eric for the third quarter, and then Daniel is back to do color for the fourth quarter. Eric, what did you see in that first half?
Not a great start for either team, honestly. I mean, for Morgan State, they're 1-9 this year, so I guess being down 9 to a team like Michigan is as good as you could hope for them. But I mean, from Michigan's standpoint, their defense is looking good. Not allowing any easy looks for Morgan State, but we saw in the second quarter they started to get a little sloppy with the ball and their passes. And not getting as many good looks, so that's something they probably talked about at halftime, I imagine.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they make some adjustments to fix that.
Yeah, Michigan shooting 41% from the field, 0% from three-point land. Morgan State shooting 31% and shooting 29% from three-point land. Morgan State gets the ball to start the half. Horn has the ball at the top at the Michigan logo. She's dribbling. She's guarded tightly by Deja Church up there. She's still just dribbling around trying to find an open seam. She throws in a pass inside. It is tipped away, but Morgan State gets it back, driving down the floor. Morales has the ball down low. Morales gives it back to Coleman at the top of the key. She has it in the bottom. She throws up a random shot with 0 seconds left on the clock and a shot clock violation.
Yeah, that was just a broken possession all the way around. Balls flying everywhere. People didn't know who had possession.
Dilk brought it up. She gives it off to Church in the corner. Church passes it inside to Brown. Brown gets it blocked. Blocked it by Morgan State. Morgan State has the ball running up the floor. Horn goes in for the lay-in. Gets it to go. 32-25 Michigan.
Yeah, Horn's defense has really impressed me so far. She's been very active, getting a lot of deflections and getting out in transition.
Dilk passes the ball inside. Beautiful pass into Brown, and she scores easily. No one there to guard her, and she took advantage of the double team. And a timeout by the media. And we have the Michigan cheerleaders on the floor for us. That was a pretty good first minute of second half for Michigan. But Morgan State came out firing as they did in the first half also. They came out running. I think the speed and the actual grittiness of the Morgan State is getting to Michigan a little bit.
Yeah.
Morgan State's defense is pretty scrappy. They're not afraid to go get the ball, and they like that. They like that transition basketball. So.
Yeah, Michigan. I mean, we did see them get a wide open look at the basket, though. I don't know if that was more Michigan running a good offense, or I think it was more just Morgan State's interior players falling asleep and forgetting about someone back there.
Yeah, I think Morgan State is trying to find a way to slow down this game, but also take the fast breaks when they come. At the end of the first half, Morgan State was really milking the clock on every possession, trying to get to the half as close as they could to Michigan. They're only down 9, which is not far. They're shooting about 30% from three-point land. So that's keeping them in this game right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty balanced scoring effort from Michigan, though, I will say. Sometimes it tends to be Hillman and Thome who carries the majority of the load offensively, but we haven't seen Thome very much today. We saw her take a bit of a fall in one of the earlier possessions today. We didn't see her in warm-ups when they came out for the second half, so not too sure what her status is, but of course, that could also be a big contribution of their struggles offensively.
No, I mean Thome is sitting on the bench right now.
Okay.
She's wearing her Michigan overshirt. It doesn't seem that she'll be coming anytime soon.
Yeah.
I think Morgan State has a smaller lineup, and so Kim Barnes-Arico wanted to come in and wanted to change it up, coming in and go with her smaller lineup as well.
Yeah.
Morgan State inbounds the ball, gives it to Chavez. Chavez gives it back to Horn. Horn has the ball at the top. Horn dribbles with Church on her. Horn passes it over to Chavez. Chavez gives it back to Horn. Horn dribbling at the top of the key. Horn gives it in to Coleman. Coleman at about the three-point line. She's guarded closely by Munger. Munger almost stole it, but they're able to give it back to Horn. Horn goes in for the floater, misses, and a shot clock violation again for Morgan State. Morgan State really likes to milk down that clock all the way.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it seems like a lot of their shots are almost in like panic mode, trying to get it off before a little violation there.
Dilk gives it in to Brown. Munger has it in the corner. Munger gives it to Dilk. Dilk has it at the elbow. Gives it all the way to Church, cross court. Church drives in with the right hand, gets a nice floater to go. 36-25 Michigan. 8 minutes left in the third. Morgan State bringing up the ball. They are guarded in that tight half-court press by Michigan. Horn has the ball, gives it away to Coleman. Coleman gives it up to Chavez in the corner. Chavez brings it back out to Horn, and then Horn gives it right back to Chavez. Horn gets the ball. She gives the ball up to Bodising. She drives in, and she gets blocked by Brown. Brown gives it up all the way to Dilk. Dilk loses control of the ball out of bounds, and a turnover again by Michigan. Michigan has had 9 total turnovers in this game, to 8 to Morgan State. So it's a high turnover game for both teams. Neither team's playing with. Both teams are playing very sloppily.
Yeah, not the prettiest of games so far.
Bolasing has the ball. Bolasing in the corner. Bolasing gives it up to Coleman. Coleman, a 10-footer, misses. Dilk has the rebound. Dilk runs up the floor. Dilk looking for Brown. Three-pointer by Brown. Oh, missed off the iron. Rebound by Deja Church. And she lays it up and in. Beautiful shot by Church to get the rebound and to put it up.
Yeah, Church has been everywhere today. I mean, you see the offensive rebound there for the second chance points, but just being aggressive and getting to the line and making good plays on defense. She's been a big help for Michigan so far.
6-0 run by Michigan has held Morgan State scoreless for 2 minutes, and Morgan State takes a timeout to mull things over. That was a better period of play by Michigan there. They played great defense throughout. They played great offense, finding open people, driving, and Church is coming up big on both ends. Defensively, she's doing a great job on Horn, and she's doing great on the offensive glass to get some second chance points.
Yeah, we saw Morgan State there, one of those offensive possessions. They actually tried to get it down low to Coleman, which was something we rarely saw in the first half, trying to get good position in the paint. So we'll see if they try to make that more of a focus. But I mean, at this point in the game, if you're trying to work from the post, that tends to slow things down. So you might not want to strategize in a way that's just going to keep burning clock. But I mean, I guess either way, because what they've been doing the whole game, just dribbling around the perimeter, has also been burning clock. So yeah. I mean, they got to start finding good looks quicker if they want to get back in this game in time.
Yeah. So Michigan is playing Morgan State here. Morgan State has never played Michigan. This is their first meeting. And Morgan State is also 0-9 against Big Ten teams coming in. So they are going to try to get this. They're going to try to get this first win for both their college and also their coach.
Yeah.
Their coach is on the verge of getting his 370th win. Ed Davis is 1 away. So he's sitting at 369 right now. Morgan State's 1-9, so they're just trying to get to 2 wins to get him to 370. We're coming back in from the timeout now. It is Morgan State's ball at around the half-court line, and Chavez will inbound it. They get it into Coleman, and a quick foul by Michigan on Naz Hillman, her second personal. She just checked in from Michigan for Deja Church. Morgan State takes the ball in. Oh, and a charge on Chavez driving in. Munger draws it. That is Munger's third drawn charge today. She's taking a beating down inside. Dilk brings the ball up, gives it to Church on the wing. Church has the ball, doesn't give it back to Dilk. Dilk gets it into Brown. Brown over to Munger, corner three, in and out. And Deja Church gets the rebound. Oh, Naz Hillman gets the rebound. Beautiful. And she puts it back up and scores.
Yeah, it's 5 offensive rebounds for Hillman. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you have the hit of Thome being out right now. Not sure of the reason, but Hillman is filling that role just perfectly.
Morgan State brings the back ball down, gives it to Coleman. Coleman, 10-footer, misses. Dilk on the wing, brings it up, gives it to Brown. Brown, three-pointer, no good. And that continues the three-point scoring drought for Michigan. But a foul inside on Bolasing. It's her second, and it's also the team second of the period. Dilk inbounding from. Gives it up to Church. Church top of the key. Church down to Munger. Munger has it the wing, gives it to Dilk. Beautiful shot right at the free throw line. Oh, no good. Dilk gets her own rebound. Dilk brings it back out, settles the play, gives it to Church. Church in the wing. Church passes it into Hillman. Hillman out to Munger. Munger back in to Brown. Brown fighting across 2 defenders. Triple team, and she gets it to go. What a move by Robbins to get that in.
Well, for Morgan State, there's not much more that could be more discouraging for them than that. I mean, that's their second straight possession on defense where they've had a good stop, and then Michigan gets the second chance points.
Morgan State comes down quickly, gets it into McCullough. McCullough shoots a 3 from the wing and drills it, and it is 42-28 Michigan. Michigan runs down the floor, gets it into Hillman. Hillman misses the easy lay-in. Not so easy. She was guarded pretty heavily there, but it goes out of bounds. Michigan ball.
Yeah, that was a nice defensive recovery by Morgan State. I mean, Hillman, for a glimpse, it seemed like she was wide open, and then all of a sudden there's 2 defenders that were swarming her.
Oh, beautiful. Hillman brings it. Hillman gives the ball to Kayla Robbins at the free throw line. Kayla Robbins shoots and scores. Morgan State brings it up. Horn has the ball. Horn guard heavily. Beautiful pass. Oh, what a play. Michigan gets caught with 5 players above the three-point line. No one back to guard. Bolasing. Bolasing was open down low, and they fouled her, and she gets an easy lane. 44-30 Michigan. Munger has the ball on the wing. He gives it up to Hillman. Hillman gives it to Church. Church for 3. Gets it to go. That is the first Michigan three-pointer in 8 attempts, and it's a big one. Up by 17 Michigan. Coming down the floor is McCullough. McCullough brings it up. McCullough gives it up to Chavez. Chavez in the wing. Chavez gives it back to McCullough. McCullough settles down the defense. 15 seconds left on the clock. McCullough brings it. McCullough dribbling. McCullough finding a lane. McCullough kicks it out. Kicks it out to Bolasing. Bolasing has the ball. Gives it up to Coleman. Coleman shoots a 10-footer. Misses. Hillman with the rebound. Hillman gives it to Deja Church. Deja Church bringing it up the floor. Deja Church passes it to Munger. Munger fakes a 3. Dribbles it. Trying to find Robbins inside. She's guarded heavily. Munger fighting for the ball. Munger's on the floor. Beautiful strip by Chavez. And a foul by Munger on the floor. She trips up Chavez, and that is a foul on Michigan, the team second of the period. Chavez will inbound the ball. Chavez inbounds it to Horn. Horn coming down. Michigan getting away from the half-court press on this inbounds. Gives it up to McCullough. McCullough at the Michigan logo. McCullough dribbling, tightly guarded. McCullough gives it up to Coleman. Coleman has the ball. Coleman gives a nice center step move with another charge on Morgan State. This time, Danielle Roush taking the charge.
Yeah.
And Michigan is absolutely taking charges and drawing charges and doing a great job down low against these driving Morgan State players.
Yeah, Rouch making her presence felt right away. First possession in the game, she takes a charge, learning from what Munger's been doing this whole game.
Roush comes in for Church, and Brown comes in for Hillman. Gives it into Robbins down low. Robbins gives it up to Roush. Roush driving the baseline, gives it up to Munger. Munger at the top of the key. Munger trying to find a lane. Munger loses the handle. Here comes Bolasing. Bolasing gives it to Horn. Horn down the lane. Easy lane by Horn. 47-32. Roush has the ball, and Morgan State is now pressing. Michigan briefs press easily. Gives it up to Akira Johnson. Akira Johnson loses the handle. Oh, and Akira Johnson gets hit in the face. She's holding her nose. And the ball goes out of bounds off Morgan State and Michigan basketball. Johnson is really hurting. She's having a tough time there, but she's brushing it off, and she seems to be fine. Michigan is inbounding the ball to Robbins. Robbins inside, easy shot, misses. Gives it up, and there is a foul. She gave it up to Haley Brown. Haley Brown was driving inside. She goes in for the layup, and she gets fouled.
Well, I will give Morgan State. I will give Morgan State credit. They're playing pretty decent defense in the interior. They're not. They're keeping their hands straight up, not fouling too much, but it's those second chance opportunities. They're just not getting the defensive rebounds, and that's how Michigan's scoring. It's mostly just getting those second chance points right under the rim, and they're getting good looks that way. So, I mean, if Morgan State, unless they can take care of that, they're making it impossible for themselves to have a chance.
Brown makes both free throws, 49-32. Michigan leading 2 minutes left in the third. Here comes Horn at the wing. Horn gives it up to Morales. Morales driving in, stops, gives it up to Bolasing. Bolasing gives it back to Horn. Horn has the ball, gives it inside to Bolasing. Bolasing quadruple team, trying to find an opening. And she traveled. Absolutely absolutely suffocating defense there by Michigan. Quadruple teaming Bolasing. Not letting her get a shot up. Forcing that travel. Michigan gives the ball to Jason Church on the corner. Jason Church gives it to Danielle Roush. Danielle Roush misses the three-pointer. Rebound by Chavez. Chavez gets fouled by Roush. Just a little too aggressive there by Roush, trying to go for her own rebound. Horn gets the ball, and she's dribbling up the court. Michigan has abandoned their half-court press and gone back to a normal man defense. Morales has the ball at the top of the key, inside to Bolasing. Bolasing outside to Chavez. Chavez driving in, floater misses, and rebound by Morgan State. Morgan State is on the Michigan is running up the floor. Michigan gives it up to Roush. 5-on-4 by Michigan, as I believe that's McCullough is on the floor, holding her face, holding her neck. Doesn't look to be anything malicious by Michigan, and that is Bolasing actually on the floor, and she gets up to applause by the crowd. Never like to see a player get hurt. Bolasing goes to the bench. Morgan State will have to find a player to come in for her, and they bring in Elizabeth Sherrill. Roush tries to get it into Robbins. Robbins gives it back to Roush. Roush over to Brown. Brown 10-footer misses. Deja Church gets the rebound.
Another
Great
offensive rebound.
And an offensive foul called on Michigan. A legal pick. And Morgan State brings the ball back down.
How about this stat? Michigan has 12 offensive rebounds. Morgan State has 13 rebounds total. So that in itself can just give you an indication of how the game's going.
That by far is why Michigan is leading in this game. Offensive rebounds, second chance points. You get double the amount of possessions. Double the chance to get points. Morgan State brings it back, brings the ball up. And they give it over to McCullough. McCullough trying to drive in, and she gets stripped by Roush. Roush brings it up the floor. Easy lay-in. 25 seconds left in the quarter. 51-32 Michigan.
You got to love Rouch's energy so far off the bench. She came in, first play was a charge, or she drew a charge, and then now nice defensive possession, an easy offense there.
Church played great defense on that play. Morgan State did not have a shot clock, chose to run a play anyway with 12 seconds left and lost the ball, and Roush will have a chance. Michigan and Roush will have a chance to end the clock. Roush brings the ball up, gives it up to Akira Johnson. Akira Johnson loses the ball, gives it to Morgan State. Morgan State half quarter misses. And that is the end of the third quarter. Michigan leads 51-32. Leading with points is Deja Church. And Daniel Roush comes in and plays great off the bench for Michigan. McCall is doing well on Morgan State. She has 9 points to go along with Chavez's 7 and Horn's 6. Michigan finally made a 3-pointer this quarter to bring them to 1-9 for the game, and Morgan State is 3 of 8. I am now joined. We said goodbye to Eric, but we are saying hello to Daniel.
Hello, Nabil.
Daniel Thompson did play-by-play the first half. Probably did it much better than I have
I don't
so
know
about that. But we will start this fourth quarter shortly. Michigan played very well that third quarter, much better than they did that second quarter, losing their 14-point lead after the first quarter. And, you know, Michigan now has a 19-point lead going into the fourth quarter. They're trying to seal this win. They definitely don't want to lose. Michigan is 7-3 coming in, and they will try to make it 8-3 2 games before they head to Big Ten play. Michigan is doing pretty well this year. They're trying to live up to their round of 32 from last year that they made it to, losing some big players, but keeping Nicole Munger and Haley Thome, which are 2 great seniors coming off the bat, starting for Michigan. They are 2-time academic Big Ten, academic all academic Big Ten.
There you go.
And they are great role models for this incoming class of Amy Dilk, Naz Hillman. Naz Hillman is actually won the gold medal for the under-18 women USA basketball team.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty great accomplishment right there.
That is a big pickup by Michigan there, getting that experience playing on the world stage. And Amy Dilk is coming in. She was Miss Indiana for basketball. So Amy Dilk has the ball, brings it in, gets stripped, and they're scrapping on the floor for it, and it's a tie-up ball, Morgan State.
Yep, arrow in Morgan State's favor. Michigan got the jump ball earlier in this game, and yeah, there were like maybe 8 bodies on the floor there.
There was. Chavez gives it in to Horn. Horn brings it up at the M logo, guarded tightly by Church. Gives it up to Chavez at the wing. Chavez dribbles across court, gives it back up to Horn. Horn has the ball, blocking foul called against Church, and Michigan's not going to get another charge call there. They will be charged with a blocking foul to Church.
No,
And
yeah, Church just was not set her, but she
Yeah.
was still moving a bit side to side when she got knocked over,
Yeah.
and of course a whistle had to be blown there when a
Yeah.
body hits the floor like that.
Morgan State gives the ball to Horn. Horn gives the ball up to Morales at the top of the key. Morales gives it to McCalla. McCalla has the ball, gives it into, tries to get a backdoor cut, and she loses control of the ball, and she steps out of bounds. Turnover by Morgan State, and ball goes back to Michigan.
Yep, good call by the official there. It looked like her heel was just barely on the bound line while her hand was touching the ball, so ball
Munger-
goes to the Wolverines.
Munger has the ball, gives it in to Naz Hillman. Naz Hillman brings it back out to Dilk. Dilk gives it into Robbins. Robbins loses control of the ball down low, and Morgan State's fighting for it. They get it. Horn gets the ball. Horn is guarded tightly. They lay off now. Horn brings up the ball. Gives it in. And a traveling call called on Bolasing down low. Down low, and she loses control of the ball. No, not lose control. Travels, my bad. Travels there. Dilk brings the ball up for Michigan. 8.5 left in the quarter. Gives it over to Munger in the right corner. Munger gives it back up to Dilk at the top of the key. Dilk gives it up to Robbins. Robbins shoots a 20-footer, misses.
Just a bit too strong on that one. Sailed
Yeah.
over the rim.
Gives it up. Morgan State brings the ball up. Nice find there by Chavez to Morales. Morales overshoots it. Dilk brings the ball up. Fast break. Dilk, no one guarding her. Dilk all the way down for an easy lay-in.
She's had that opportunity a couple of times now
Yeah.
tonight. Gets the rebound and then just can go court to court. No one, baseline to baseline, no one there in her way.
Right after the fast break, Michigan tries to go a half-court press. They get broken by Morgan State. Morales tries to get a layup, and she misses. Dilk brings the ball up, tries to get an easy pass to Hillman, but misses there, and Chavez cuts it off. Chavez running on the floor, Euro step. Chavez, misses, but a foul on Dilk.
And guess who it was on the last Michigan possession? Dilk comes up with the rebound. This time they play her much more closely, and that forces an errant pass and a turnover.
Yeah, the last two plays for Dilk, not so great, but the play before that, amazing. Dilk just needs to find that consistency, and she'll be a great player for Michigan. Chavez now shooting 2 shots for Morgan State. First shot is in and out, bounces around, misses. 53-32, Morgan State is losing. 7 minutes, 45 seconds left in the fourth.
Yeah, it looks like this one has gotten out of hand for them. But
you never know.
A valiant effort. This is the second Big Ten team they've come and played so far this year. They lost by 24 to Maryland earlier.
Yeah. Chavez makes the second shot. Michigan brings up the floor. Tries to shoot. Jada Schurz tries to shoot a 3. She misses. Offensive rebound by Naz Hillman. And she puts it up and the and one for Naz Hillman. Another offensive rebound by Michigan.
Great physical possession there for Hillman. I mean, there were a few other girls down there who were fighting for that ball. She was able to get it and put it back.
Yeah, Hillman's a strong player down low for Michigan and a great find for Michigan in her freshman year.
Yeah, just did a great job enforcing herself.
Chavez brings the ball up, splits in the entire Michigan defense. No one comes to guard her, and she gets an easy lay-in. Church brings the ball up the other side, and Morgan State is now doing a half-court, full-court press. Morgan State easily broken, though, by Michigan. Amy Dilk brings the ball up again. Easy lay-in down the lane. Morgan State now quickly. This is a fast-paced game now. Morgan State is running the ball up. They are trying to get past this Michigan half-court press. Bolasing has the ball, gives it up to Coleman. Coleman drives in. Coleman splits 2 Michigan defenders and gets a lay-in. 58-37. Morgan State losing 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Dilk is met by 2 Morgan State players. She gets it in to Church. Church gives it to Hillman. Hillman down low. Easy lay-in also. 5 straight lay-ins for both teams. They are finding ways to get past this half-court press by both teams. Chavez has the ball at the half-court line. She gives it up She passes. She gives it up to McCullough. McCullough gives it back up to Chavez. Chavez lays it in down to Cheryl. Cheryl played excellently there by Akira Johnson, and she forces the errant shot, and the ball goes out of bounds. Michigan basketball.
Yeah, Michigan keeps pulling away with this one. The defense has been excellent really all day. Just as long as the shots are falling, Michigan continues to expand their lead.
And they're playing pretty good defense. So Church has the ball, gives it up to Ariel Young, who comes into this game. Ariel Young passes it inside to Church. Church drives the baseline, draws some contact, no call, but gets the shot to roll in.
And
Horn,
Church is now the leading scorer on the floor with 16 points.
Horn has the ball at the top of the key, guarded really tightly by our Ariel Young. She is not letting her go. Horn takes a floater from 15 feet and misses off the backboard, just too strong there. Church gets the rebound. Hillman gets the rebound, gives it up to Church. Church gives it to Munger. Munger drives the baseline again, tries to cut inside, misses off the backboard. Hillman gets the rebound out to Ariel Young. Ariel Young shoots a 20-footer, misses, and a rebound by Horn. Horn coming down the floor. No more half-court press by either team. And Horn still has the ball, gives it up to Morales. Morales gives it to Bolasing. Bolasing back to Chavez. Chavez dribbling around, trying to find an opening. Michigan is suffocating them from coming inside. She does find an opening, though. She gets inside, floater from 15 from the free throw line, and she makes it off the backboard. Church inbounds it and gives it to Hillman. Hillman has the ball inside. Hillman makes a move, and she scores. Beautiful play there by Hillman. Hillman is really showing her dominance down low. Horn has the ball at the Michigan logo. Horn is guarded by Church now. Chavez gets the ball from Horn, runs across the floor, and gives it back to Horn. Horn gives it inside, and it is stripped by Church, and bodies are on the floor. Ariel Young tries to slide in to get the ball from Horn, but she is called with a foul.
Going back to that Hillman basket, she leads the nation actually in field goal percentage. So,
wow, that is very impressive.
And yeah, I can definitely believe that given the way she's able to impose herself and just be taking the 0 and 1-footer shots all day.
Yeah.
Up to 17 points now on the day. She leads all Wolverines on the floor.
And a timeout on the floor, media timeout. And we are seeing now that Michigan is pulling away. They're finding easy buckets. They're not settling for three-pointers anymore, because that obviously was not working for them this entire game. And they are just trying to find the open man. They're taking advantage of the Morgan State defense, which kind of has lapses sometimes and leaves a woman open. So they're trying Morgan State's trying their best, but Michigan is just overpowering them on both ends. And you could definitely easily see why Naz Hillman was on the under-18 USA basketball team and how she contributed to them winning the gold medal. That is extremely impressive.
Yeah, well, also extremely impressive today, she leads the Wolverines in points, rebounds, and assists. 17 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. You can count that a double-double. Don't think we're going to see a triple-double,
no.
But
unless she somehow manages to get 7 players to score, which at that point
in less than 7 minutes.
Yeah.
4:16 to go in this one. Unlikely, but
the fact that she's leading in every category, it just shows how much of a force she's going to be coming down the stretch as she starts to develop and become better at being an enforcer down low and also just a great player for the Michigan basketball team.
Absolutely. I mean, what a start to the season. As I mentioned a minute ago, the best field goal percentage in the country.
Yeah.
Couple that with this today where she's just leading all the statistical categories for the team as a freshman out of Cleveland. I mean, that's bright future to come for Naz Hillman out of here in Ann Arbor.
Michigan, great job by Kim Barthury to find her, to recruit her to come to Michigan. That is just that's what you call going and finding players that you can help bring your team to the next level after you lose a couple players that were just irreplaceable.
Indeed, losing Caitlin Flaherty last year was, of course, a big blow for the Wolverines, but they, not really a positional replacement, but maybe in just that offensive scoring power replacement, they have found one in Naz Hillman.
And you're never going to find a Flaherty out there, but Naz Hillman is doing her best to score for this Michigan team. Morgan State gets the ball, inbounds it, brings it out to Bolasig. Bolasig shoots a three, and she drills it. 64-42, Michigan leads. Just under 4 minutes left in the fourth. Daisy Church brings the ball up, gives it to Brown. Brown inside, and she gets contact on that, and she gets the foul called, but does not make the shot. She will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the 3-point there from Morgan State a possession ago, that really has kept them in the game at times.
Yeah.
Their 3-point shooting kept it competitive at halftime, and it could be worse if not for the 3-point shooting. It's been the great equalizer for them so far and helped them keep this game interesting.
Doesn't look like Ed Davis will get his 370th win today.
Oh, okay. That's a big accomplishment coming up on.
Yeah.
Might have to wait for conference play though.
Yeah. But I mean, it does look like he is going to take some lessons from this game. It's definitely hard to come into a big conference at a big stadium against a Power 5 conference team and beat them. They've never won against the Big Ten, so it's going to be difficult to get that first win. But there's a lot of positives to come out of this. Their 3-point shooting was pretty good so far this entire game, and they played pretty good defense. They just had some lapses in memory on who they were guarding. Sometimes they left men open. Haley Brown misses one free throw. Misses her second free throw. Made the first. 65-42 Michigan. And Horn has the ball. Gives it into Morales. Morales trying to make a move on Brown. Brown guards her nicely. Gives it back out to Horn. Horn shoots a 3. And it is right off the back of the rim. Misses and gets the ball. Smeagy comes in now from Michigan. Smeagy has the ball. Smeagy gives it up. Oh, and an errant pass out of bounds, crossing the baseline to Aria Young, and it just goes out of bounds there. Michigan has had a lot of turnovers this game. They are at 18 for the game right now compared to 15 for Morgan State, and that's something Kim Puerto Rico could definitely work on coming up in these next practices before Big Ten Conference play starts in 2 games.
Indeed, they have Southern here in Ann Arbor on Friday, then they go to Lincoln to play the Huskers on December 28th, a week after that Southern game. So they still need to just tone up a few things before they get into Big Ten play. That's where they can really impress selection committee and whatnot in order to improve their tournament bid.
Morgan State tries to come down the floor, loses the ball. Great defense there by Michigan. Michigan has the ball. Ariel Young has the ball at the top of the key. Ariel Young passes it out to Taylor Rooks, who shoots a 3 and makes it. Taylor Rooks coming off the bench here, and she has played in 7 games so far. She averages 0 points a game.
Okay, so first points on the season, it would appear.
And there it is. Taylor Brooks, beautiful shot there. Michigan lets an easy lay into Morgan State, and that is Coleman's that is Coleman's 6th point of the game, I believe, and she puts it in easily. Michigan bench players not playing too much defense here, but they are trying to score. Academy Johnson drives down the lane and shoots a lay-in, lays it up and lays it in easily, and 70-44 now for Michigan. 2 minutes left in the fourth.
Indeed.
Morgan State has the ball. Morgan State gives it up to Bolasig. Bolasig, top of the key, misses. Gives it up to Coleman. Coleman gets the offensive rebound, misses a 2-footer. And Academy Johnson brings the ball up the court, gives it up to Ariel Young in the corner. Smeagy now has the ball, top of the key. Smeagy dribbling. Smeagy passes up to Ariel Young. Ariel Young gives it inside to Emily Kaiser. Emily Kaiser misses. And Morgan State gets the ball. Running on the floor is Chavez. Chavez gives it to McCullough. McCullough has the ball and gives it back to Horn. Horn gives it up to Chavez at the Michigan logo and gives it back down to Horn. Horn gives it to McCullough. McCullough corner three, swish, nothing but net there for McCullough. And their three-point shooting is something this game. They're playing really well from beyond the arc. 70-47 Michigan, 50 seconds left. Smee gives the ball in to Emily Kaiser. Emily Kaiser has the ball, guarded heavily by Morgan State. Gives it out to Ariel Young. Ariel Young shoots a 20-footer, misses. And gives it, McCullough gets the rebound. McCullough has the ball at the wing. McCullough gives it back to Chavez. Chavez gets it inside to Coleman. Coleman trying to make a move on Smeagy. She does, but she misses the layup. And 20 seconds left. Michigan can just run out the clock now. Henry Johnson has the ball. And that will do it here at Chrysler Center. Chrysler Center giving the Michigan team a rounding applause. Everyone's starting to stand up. The stadium is starting to fill in for the Michigan men's basketball game coming up in a couple hours. Deja Church has the ball and she runs out the clock. And that will do it for Michigan. That will do it from Chrysler Center. Michigan wins the game 70-47. Kim Bargzerico's squad shows out. They played well against a scrappy Morgan State team who was shooting pretty good from beyond the arc. That kept them in this game throughout much of the first half. But Michigan started to climb away, and they put it out of reach at the end of the third quarter. And the fourth quarter, they kept building on their lead to end this game.
Yeah, Michigan ends up winning by 23. Not a bad-looking score. Obviously, going to get into the real meat of the schedule with playing Nebraska in 13 days here to start Big Ten play. Looks like a good start to the day for Michigan basketball.
Yeah.
Both teams playing lesser conference opponents.
Yeah.
So they should go a perfect 2-0 on the day. Men's team obviously is ranked number 5 in the country, playing Western Michigan. They are going to, I mean, it's going to be interesting run here. They don't play for another week as well, much like this women's team not playing for 6 more days. So time for the men's team to finish up the what could be a perfect day of Michigan basketball, going 2 for 2.
Yeah, a lot of positive shake from this game for Kim Bargzerico. There are also a lot of things for them to work on. Their turnovers are a big one. 18 turnovers as a game is not going to help you in Big Ten play when you're playing some much tougher teams and you need to take care of that ball. So that will do it from us here at Chrysler Center. My big thank you to Daniel Thompson calling play-by-play first half, calling the color in the fourth quarter. Eric Littman calling the first, second, and third quarter color. And this has been Nabil Baig calling your play-by-play in the second half. I will leave you with a good afternoon and a Go Blue.